breakpoint back. We're going to swap out ceiling fans, so we're going to change to this. All right, guys, Jason for breakpoint. We're going to install this Harbor Breeze ceiling fan, Lake Canton style, next on this episode. All right, guys, we killed the breaker to this ceiling fan, so there's no power on it whatsoever. We got the light switch on, so we're safe here. So make sure you do that. And these lights are okay now. They were a little warm a little earlier. So I'm going to take all the light bulbs out. And then I'm going to take off the fans, the blades. You don't have to take off the blades, but I'm going to, just to make it a little bit less awkward. Oh, these are Phillips, but yours might be a flathead, who knows, or something else. This thing it works fine, it's just dated, so we're going to just swap it out. It doesn't match the kitchen at all. And so we haven't been here very long, so we're just doing little changes to our likings. Something that matches our kitchen a little bit better. It's a little bit more modern. We got 2 more left, so these were surprisingly pretty loose. Might be a good idea if you have ceiling fans, if you live in the south or a hot climate. Check your ceiling fan blade tightness. Every once in a while is a good idea. We came from a cold climate where we really didn't use ceiling fans, so I didn't think about checking the fans, but I will. After this, I'm going to go around the house and check them all. As this guy, it's pretty loose, and when it was on, it didn't shake. It had good balance, so I didn't think of it. But coming up here, it didn't take nothing to turn these. And I got to two on the other side. Okay, that's down. All right, so let me see here. All right, so I'm gonna go get my ratchet set, and we'll be right back. So I got a, was it 7/8?
7/16.
7/16 here. This is gonna come off that easy. All right, this next one you gotta be careful because the other side's holding this up. So get ready for that to drop. All right, folks. It's a good idea, especially if you're not too familiar with wiring, to take a picture of what you're looking at. So when you disassemble everything, you'll kind of remember where it goes. If you don't remember where it goes, you have a picture so you can see, or take a little video with your camera on your phone. Okay. So for me, I can see that I got a couple blacks and one blue, and then this is going to go to 2 whites. Here, my ground is a green wire. The neutral's coming over here on the left-hand side, and then this was just floating. So I'm gonna take my knobs off after I've taken note of all that, and disconnect these wires. So once you get it all unhooked, when you take your last bolt off, this thing's going to want to fall down, and then your wires are going to be there. You don't want to pull anything, break anything of that nature. So take that into account before you go. Hand me that Phillips. I take my green wire out. That's gone. All right, so we got one more. Come on, tall boy, get up there. There we go. Okay, she comes. Oh, right over there. Sit down. I can see going. There we go. Right now. There we go. All right. How was that? All right, folks. So we got a new one here on the table, and I already have this bracket hooked, and I don't think that's going to work. So I'm going to take this off next. And then I'm going to install the other one in its place. So once that's done, I'll be right back. It's only 2 Phillips screws that's holding that in. So okay, I got those 2 long screws out. Now this bracket's just going to pull out just like that. All right, so that's the old junk. Oh, that's just going to go to the junkyard. This is a simple old school box. This house was built in '89. So that's what I'm working with. This is a new one. All right, guys, I got one started in here. And so the instruction says they don't include the screws that are going into your box. So if you're replacing a fan, don't throw away your old hardware that's connected into your junction box or your outlet box, okay? I checked mine to see if they furnished new ones, and they did not. So, no big deal. We're just going to continue on here. And I got it started here. So, instead of wrecking my wrist, I'm going to go to my shop and go get my other screw gun. All right, guys. Got the old gun. And as I can see, it sure does beat. Yep, that's nice and tight. All right, so the next step is I'm going to get my motor piece and I'm going to hook these wires back up. And then I'm going to hook my neutral up again. And then we'll be back. All right, guys. Mounting brackets in. Now, on this new one, it's totally different from the old one because, you know, that's like 30 years ago. So now they changed the design on this one. And this bracket is going to slide into the other bracket, and then you go in all the way back here, then you can go forward, and then it locks in place, and you see I'm already hands-free. And then these are the cushions. They're going to go on each side. All right, so my cushion plates are in. That's in. Now we just got to bolt them up. And when you're using a screw gun, go slow so you don't strip anything out. Don't try to force it. You can always hand tighten it, which I'm going to do because I don't want to have a messed up wiggle fan. So this side is going to be more difficult. So give me the. There we go. Okay, that's in. Now I'm going to wire this back up like it was. And I'm going to put my electrical nuts back on. And when I'm done, I'll be right back. All right, folks, so I got it wired up. Bailey's gonna go hit the breaker for me. Is it ready yet? All right. We got electricity and it's spinning. So we're good. So we're just going to put the fan bezel on, the cover, and then we're gonna attach the fans and the lighting and
Want to tell them the wire colors
it'll be different for them maybe.
for this particular fan?
So this fan, you know, the new systems are pretty easy. We got the white, the black, and the green and the bear. And they basically just match up, you know, black to black, white to white. Your green is going to go to your bear, which is going to be your copper, and the blue is going to go to the black. So, of course, read your instructions, and if you're not savvy to electricity, then call your electrician and do yourself a favor. All right, so we're going to put this on this guy next. As you can see on my bracket, the screws are already installed here, so I'm just going to back them out a little bit like this.
One of them goes inside.
And then we're going, then we're going to attach that. And I got this dorky popcorn ceiling on, which I'm not happy about. But I bought the house this way, so that's going to be for a further down the road project when we remodel the kitchen. We're going to smooth all this ceiling. All right. So let's see how I can do this here.
Right there.
Yeah. All right, here. Just have to take them. I took the wrong side out, so now I'm gonna have to remove all these. I wouldn't say this is difficult. It's just, you know, you have to give your hats off to the tradesmen because they're used to working overhead all the time, all day long. They're like this, so they're used to it. When you're not used to doing that, you're gonna feel your shoulders, your arms, your knees. You know, your stabilizer muscles you're not used to using because you're not used to being on the ladder and just stabilizing yourself the entire time. Before I went to computer school, I used to be a drywaller, so that was fun. It was so fun that I decided to become a computer engineer. All right. So what we're going to do, don't don't put any pressure. As I'm just lining up the screws and getting them started. I'm not worried about tightening them right now. I just want to get the bolts started in there. All right. Once you got one side in, the other side is going to be pretty easy. Okay, so make sure you hold that. Go, let go. Now I'm just going to tighten up this other side. And that's that. All right, the next fun part. We have a light that's going to hang here. So yeah, you guessed it, folks. More wiring. This time is a little bit more. All right. All right. So I'm going to go get the other lighting housing and we'll be back. All right. So I got my little housing for my light. As you notice, there's only 2 wires coming out. So don't be intimidated when you see this mess here. On this particular fan, we have a blue and a white, and we have a black and a white. So the white and the white's going to match up here, and we're going to plug them in together like that, snap them in, and then the blue and black go together. So we snap them in, and that's it. This is pretty light, so you don't have to worry about it breaking. Then we have 3 screws that are already in here, so that's right. We're going to back them out. There's 3 screws up here, holes. But next, what we're going to do is we're going to put the fan blades on. So the fan blades are here. And we're going to have to get them off the table here. And once we get set up, we'll be right back. Okay, here's a finished fan blade. These are reversible, so if you wanted black or if you wanted dark brown, we wanted dark brown to match some of the lightings that we already have in the house. So what it requires is just 3 bolts. These bolt screws are going to fly in here, but you need 3 washers. Don't forget your washers, all right? Because if you do, it's going to go unbalanced. It's going to start shaking and rattling, making noises. These are the brackets. So we're going to put one together for you. We have 5 blades here, I think. Yeah, we have 5 blades, so we're going to have to put these bad boys on. And it's kind of cool on these. I don't know if you can see them, but there's these little grooves that are sticking out. These little notches here. And they're just going to fit nice in these pre-made drilled holes that the fan comes with. You can just set it down on a surface here like that. Now they're flush inside those holes. You get your 3 washers, put them over. Get your screws and get to work. Just get them started. Don't worry about tightening. Get them started first. That way, if you need things to shift and line up, they're going to line up and shift for you, okay? And if you tighten it down, if you tighten one down, and the thing needs to just go over just a hair, and then you can't get the other ones in, that's when the frustration comes in, right? And then you start thinking about your sins. That might be a good thing, but probably want to avoid getting frustrated, right? So now that I have them in, I'm just going to tighten them down. You know, don't break your blade, guys. You know, on this particular model, yes, like we've stated before, you got two different colors. You can choose the black, or you could choose the brown side here, this darker brown, or you could choose the black. All right. So this is the color of our fixtures already in the kitchen and in our dining room. So we went ahead and went with this color here. That's just personal preference, but that's not a big deal. You choose what you like or what matches your kitchen. I like black, but it doesn't really match, so I can't use it. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this dark walnut color, whatever it is. Here, when we get the rest of the blades done, we'll be back, folks. All right, so folks, we're back. All the blades are assembled. Now on this particular unit, on this Harbor Breeze that I have, the bolts are already screwed into the fan. So you're gonna have to take these out first before you install your fan blade. So you got two for each blade. All right. So blade number 1 incoming. That's gonna go in there like that. And of course, this is not fun. All right. So Bailey's gonna have to come hold this. Where you at, Bailey? Yeah, come on here. All right, here's one. All right, folks. So that's how that's done. I was gonna go around the horn. Take it off. So it's not hard, but I'll tell you. What makes it kind of awkward is the tightness. You know, like you only have my pinky in the slot here, so you have to have some good lighting so you can line up. So you line up the bolts. All right, right there. Let me see. Nope. It was one. Okay. Yep, go please. All right, so that's basically how you do that. So we're gonna do the rest on. We'll be right back. All right, so that's basically how you do that. So we're gonna get the rest on, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we already discussed hooking this up, this light housing here. White to white, blue to black. They just snap right in. Not a big deal. All these other wires are just hanging. So we're gonna now attach this. There's 3 holes that line up. All right. So if you get a good little helper dog like Bailey, good boy. Hold it right there.
I should push you off the ladder, man.
What a good kid. Okay. Then got another one. Uh-huh. I have to move for that one. All right. So now that we got the housing on, we're just gonna install the light bulbs. And this particular unit does a 60 watt max. Okay, then go get that housing. Okay, we're going to get the change through just like that. Then Oh. All right, guys. So we went ahead and took this spacer nut washer all the way up to the top. Trying to put the glass bowl back on. Gonna line up the holes. Line up the cooler. Put our little cap on here. Hold on, gotta match that hole right here. Gotta get it in there. Hold on. All right. Go ahead. Just end cap left. All right. I'm gonna install our little pulleys. We got some short people in the house, so hey, what are we doing there?
What, you want me to do it all the way?
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right, so here, this is why someone needs to wake up. Go turn on the thing again, Bailey. Yep. We got lights, folks. We got air. So none of the breakers popped. So that's how we do that. It's not too bad, but just be prepared by having your tools ready to go. Make sure that you got air, you're not too hot. So, because you don't want to get flustered when you're doing something like this, especially when you're dealing with electricity, right? Last thing you want to do is get zapped. All right, so we're gonna have to finish this clean up. We got tools everywhere and stuff like that. But all right, guys, it's all finished. I'm enjoying the wind already. So it's changed the look of the ceiling fan that we had previously. So my cat is trying to chase a moth right now. It's driving her crazy. But that's how we do it. Always stay safe. And if you're scared of electricity, call your local electrician. Don't take a chance, okay? Be safe out there and keep cool.